As we get ready for the 2024 NFL season for the Philadelphia Eagles, we're going to look at the week-by-week game analysis of each opponent. This week, it's our fifth opponent, the Cleveland Browns, who will face at home. And I think they'll be our toughest opponent challenge up to this point. Green Bay withstanding, they have a very overall balanced team. What's up, it's your boy Cintron, coming back to another analysis video. And kid you not, that's my real name. Let's look at the draft first and see what they needed and what they picked up. So going in, they need O-line, linebacker, D-line, wide receiver, and tight end help. And for them, it was more so adding pieces, depth, but not really looking too much for starters. But they could have used some upgrades. They also addressed that in free agency. Let's see what they did. Injuries at offensive tackle suffered last season. Their rookie, DeJuan Jones, I think, suffered a knee injury, as well as Jack Conklin. And the 2025 free agency addition of Jedrick Wills should push should be 2024. Should push the Browns to find depth at that position, as well as day 3 picks on the interior O-line, at receiver, and at tight end. The team found one starting linebacker in Jordan Hicks, I think by way of Minnesota maybe, and added defensive tackle Quentin Jefferson in free agency, but should add one more player at each position in the draft. So let's look at who they did pick up, because they didn't have a first-round pick due to the trade they made for a quarterback. I can't think of his name right now. I know his name. Anyways, their current starter. So they picked up Mike Hall Jr., D-tackle, so this is a futures pick. But, he'll provide some depth and then maybe be a starter by next year. Zach Zenner, a talented guard out of Michigan, could challenge for a job right now, but gives them quality depth in the meantime. Jamar Thrash, 5th-round pick, so you can see they had 2nd, 3rd, and 5th, some drop-off due to trades they made. He's a guy that is explosive, but he's being counted on as a reserve. Nathaniel Watson, some good measurables, Mississippi linebacker, but Mississippi State linebacker. We'll see if he measures up to those, but he has to. He's going to be fighting an uphill battle, 6th-round pick, as a fringe roster guy. Miles Harden, South Dakota, couldn't tell you anything, but depth piece, as well as Jawan Briggs out of Cincinnati. So seeing what they can hit on him. Now let's get to their starting roster. All right, here we go. Starting out with Deshaun Watson, the guy they traded for, it's 3 years ago. Gave him a fully guaranteed contract, the first of its kind, that highly paid, but it hasn't worked out thus far for them. He's had injury-shortened seasons. I think he missed 10 games last year, and then 9 to 10 games, and then the previous year he was suspended, I think, for the majority of the year. So now is really the time for them to reap on their return, because they gave up a bounty for him. I think maybe 2 ones and then a cadre of other picks. But Deshaun has the talent, but time is ticking. Other guys they could draft someone else to helm that ship, and they banked on him a lot, and they haven't gotten anything close to what they thought they would out of him. Nick Chubb coming out that ACL injury. It's hard to prognosticate on how he'll play after that devastating injury. He was set for another 1,000-yard season. He's the consistent, the engine behind that offense there in Cleveland Brownie land. But that's devastating, thing for him to have to recover from, and he probably will never be the same in his not advanced age, but he was like a 5th or 6th year pro now. So it's gonna be hard for him to bounce back and be fully healthy. Amari Cooper, still being counted on, very consistent receiver, giving you 1,000 yards. And he's underrated. I definitely agree with Darius Slay. People sleep on him way too often. Jerry Jeudy, they're believing in him, trading for him, and giving him a $11 million plus contract extension. So he has yet to live up to that standard coming out of Alabama, but he could reach that. So we'll see if he does. Cedric Tillman, a very good number 3, competing with, I forget their other number 3, Elijah Moore. David Njoku, I think he's put himself in the top 10 category conversation, but I think that's his limit. He has yet to truly break through and be ultra consistent throughout the course of a season. Jedrick Willis, we'll see, whether he's able to hold us on. But look, at face value, him, Joel Bitonio at left guard, Ethan Pocket, who's I think solid, Wyatt Teller at right guard, and Jack Conklin. This is a top 10 line, but can they overcome the injuries? And will these guys put up to their potential? Myles Garrett on defense. I mean, he's all world, man. Just a player you could create in a lab. He's 6'4", 270. I mean, the guy's just a monster, man. All the athleticism in the world without sacrificing that speed. Dalvin Tomlinson, a solid guy in the interior, kind of coming up from the Chargers maybe. Shelby Harris, another good plugger, underrated guy. Darius Smith, definitely another underrated edge rusher, but he gets the job done. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, surprised I was able to say that, but he's a guy that he's been coasting on some talent, but can he be more consistent playing in the middle this season? Jordan Hicks, you know what you're getting with him, but can he stay healthy is the question. He's getting up there in age. I think he's like 30 or 31 now. Denzel Ward, one of the top 10 corners in the league, has a big fat contract. Greg Newsome, not too shabby. I think he's a top 15 corner, but he's talented as well. Martin Emerson, a good slot corner. Grant Delpit, solid safety, and Juan Thornhill, also solid. So, I mean, quietly, this is one of the better defenses in the league. That's why I think they'll give the Eagles problems. So now let's juxtapose them up against their counterparts. First, the defense. Deshaun Watson, as of now, I mean, I would say the Eagles should be able to handle him because he hasn't played up to his potential. And coming over in this trade, he's shown glimpses, but he hasn't shown the full picture as of yet. So I'd like to give us the advantage there. Nick Chubb coming off that injury, man, I just don't think he's going to be the same. So I think we're able to handle him. He can, be a good receiver out of the backfield as well, but he's compromised. Our corners, Jerry Jeudy has yet to show consistency, so I'd like, the guys we have now to handle them with us having a deep stable of cornerbacks. David Njoku could give us some problems, but we'll see whether Devin White / Zach Bond and our safeties can handle him. I think that they should most of the time, but he might sneak in a play or two. That O-line definitely can stand up to our D-line, and we don't know what we have as of yet. And this game will be telling because it'll be the 5th game that we played, so maybe starting to get into a rhythm and establish ourselves on that side of the ball, but we'll see. But I'd say at the very least is a push. Maybe we have a slight advantage. But the defense, man, they're going to give us they're going to be a good test. It'll be Jordan Mailata going up against Myles Garrett, and he was getting wiped in camp last year. So, I would love to see that battle. Jordan is still an ascending talent, and Myles, he's upper echelon. So, good battle. In the interior, Dalvin, he's a heavier guy. Cam Jenkins is going to have his hands full, as will, the other guys with Shelby Harris, as of now, Tyler Steen. And then Darius Smith, you expect him to be erased by Lane Johnson because he's the eraser. Their linebackers, I think they can, flow, but them dealing with Saquon, I like to give him that advantage. And then our line giving a good push to set Saquon up for success, to get to the second level. I give him that. Denzel Ward, however much I like him, AJ Brown's such a handful to deal with, and he's got the size advantage, so I like him to be able to bully him. Greg Newsome, he'll make his plays, but I still favor Smitty. And the safeties are solid, but, Dallas Goedert and the other threats. I would give us a slight advantage on offense, but, they're going to make some plays. I do think, they'll be able to compete with us. But I just think the inconsistency we'll see from them at quarterback versus what we should be seeing. He'll probably be hitting his stride, and Jalen Hurts gives us a slight advantage, and I have the Eagles eking out a win here. But tell me what you think. That's just my thoughts on the matter. But hey, you know that you're not even watching, but it's all good because I love talking about the Eagles and I love making these freaking stinking videos on my favorite team. So we'll chunk the deuces officially, but as always, it's Fly Eagles Fly, and let's motherfucking go. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs. Or other social media.